I had posted a video on the Elements of Virtue YouTube page, and I had it was referencing the prodigal son and Solomon, King Solomon. And I was reading about King Solomon and how God had visited him in a dream and asked him, asked Solomon, what does he desire? And Solomon's reply was that he desired wisdom and understanding. He had a task to uphold, I suppose you could say, in governing the people, and so he desired wisdom, and that pleased God, and that Solomon did not desire the head of his enemies or vengeance, upon his enemies, or riches. And because God was pleased with Solomon's reply, he not only gave him the desire of his heart, he not only gave him wisdom and understanding with discernment, but he also gave him riches and honor. And you can't take that and contrast it with the prodigal son who all of his needs were made available to him, but he went off essentially into the world and squandered his inheritance. He didn't know the value of what it was that he had. He didn't know the value of wisdom, and that's something that the prodigal son lacked. He lacked wisdom, and therefore, he went off thinking he had something to gain, or thinking he had thinking he had something to gain by leaving his father's house. But essentially he ended up losing what he had. And until, he came unto himself, he was humbled in that loss. And at the point of humility, he came into himself, and he returned into his father's house, and his father welcomed him. And such is how God deals with us. The father of the prodigal son was gracious enough to allow him to go off, to allow his son to go off. But not only was he gracious enough to allow him to leave and experience whatever he needed to experience in life, but he was also gracious enough to welcome him upon his return. But the Bible teaches us that wisdom is valuable. Wisdom is more valuable than silver and gold, and it is what we should desire. And so that teaches us, in a world where we hear, certain phrases, referencing to money, without wisdom, material things are worthless, and they can become our idols, yet worthless idols, because idols are worthless. And as I just wanted to share that message pertaining to King Solomon and the prodigal son. And I hope that it will be a blessing and enrich someone's life and their spiritual walk and journey. Not only that, but the decisions that we make. May the blessing of the Lord be with us and enable us, give us wisdom to make wise decisions. So again, I hope that this will be a blessing to someone, and I hope everyone's having a blessed and prosperous day. In Jesus' name, bye-bye.